Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Recipe for Adventure. I'm your host, Freebie Wits, and with me today, as always, is Sai. Sai, say g'day, mate.
Howdy, all.
It felt
Howdy,
like you
y'all.
needed a bit of loading time for that. You weren't expecting me to go Aussie on you, were you?
No,
Well,
no, I wasn't. I was expecting to, have the usual say hello.
I'm
And,
glad.
yeah.
I'm glad I knocked you off center for a bit there. Even though I didn't get you to say exactly what I wanted, I still got you on some degree, so I'm pleased with that. So, hang on, I've got my questions doc up open. I'm just gonna close that quickly because that actually shows a bunch of different questions I plan to ask you in the future. However, today's slightly different in that apparently you have something you wish to talk to me about, and it's not
Yes.
necessarily a question.
No, it's a little bit of a lore thing when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons. In
Mm-hmm.
particular, dragons. And I've been holding off having this little conversation for a long time
Pulling back the
because I
cur-
wanted I
yeah.
wanted to talk to you about it here.
Oh yes. Pulling back the curtains. It's been about what 2 weeks since we did a recipe for adventure recording, something like that.
Yeah, just due to conflicting schedules and other stuff.
Yeah. So we're finally here, and every time we play D&D with each other, with other people, he'll get a little hint of like this subject, and I have to kind of like pull him back, or he'll just stay on surface level. So, Sai,
Yes.
tell me the subject of your
So,
internal verbiage diarrhea that you need to finally let out.
wow, great terminology.
Let me
But
rephrase: verbal constipation because you've been holding it in.
okay. Yeah. So the topic I wanted to bring up was like catastrophic dragons, as
Catastrophic
they're referred
dragons.
to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a little bit of setup is required for like going into them. So I'm gonna be try to be quick,
Mm-hmm.
but generally by like fifth edition D&D, there's like four or five main kinds of dragons. Um, there's like
Fourth.
metallic dragons,
Yeah. So
chromatic.
to a relatively layman law person,
Yeah,
yeah, I only know about the chromatic and the metallic dragons, the evil and the good ones, Tiamat,
yeah,
Bahamut, and then
yeah,
I also know gem dragons exist, but I don't
yeah.
know too much
Gem
about them.
dragons are basically like psionically charged dragons, and they're
Ah,
neutral
right,
in nature.
right. Crystals are always psionic in D&D for some reason. That's like a
Yeah,
general rule.
yes. However, there's technically like two other categories of dragon that exist
Uh huh.
that are more like common. There are ferrous dragons, ferrous meaning iron,
Yeah. Huh.
and you would normally be like, shouldn't they just be like part of the metallic dragon kind of hierarchy?
Yeah.
But they're not. They are their own hierarchy, led by the Iron Dragons. Hence, why their like section of dragons are referred to as the Ferrous Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
They are lawful in nature,
Mm-hmm.
um, compared to like good for metallic dragons. The Ferrous Dragons are on a diagram of like lawful good, lawful neutral, lawful evil.
Okay. So
Some of the dragons,
this is
yeah.
more 3.5 ish, back when they
Um,
still had the
yeah.
nine
Well,
alignments.
you could just even if you just go the five, right, where it's like, lawful, good, chaotic, evil, and neutral.
Mm-hmm.
They are lawful.
Sure.
They follow sets of rules, but
Mm-hmm.
they can be quite tyrannical about it.
Sure.
Um, and then the
And
fifth category
yep.
is not on the alignment chart.
Oh.
The fifth category are planar dragons,
Oh.
which basically a planar dragon is a dragon species that has gone to an environment and become changed by the environment itself.
So like the
So,
elemental planes of like fire, air, and all that stuff, or
yeah, for example, a dragon that lives in the elemental plane of fire might end up becoming a pyroclastic dragon.
oh, I
So, a
like that
dragon
name.
that is more like lava attuned than normal, or a dragon that lives in the Shadowfell might become like a death dragon.
Okay, okay.
A dragon that lives in the Astral Sea might become like a sun or a moon dragon.
Okay, sure.
So, fairy dragons, the fae, that kind of stuff. But they don't neatly fit into our last alignment category, which is chaotic.
Hmm.
But there is a dragon type that does, but it is not a common type.
So the catastrophic one, right?
Yeah, they are called catastrophic dragons. I don't like that term. I like calling them calamity dragons. It is shorter, simpler, and rolls off the tongue better. So I will
Calamity
refer to
dragon.
so I will refer to them as such from now on. And the origins of them are really cool.
Uh-huh.
So for those who are not in the know, way back in the beginnings of history, there was the dragon god Io. He's really powerful, really important, but the big thing that happened is that he got killed, cut in two, and his two halves became Bahamut, the golden dragon of good, and Tiamat, the five-headed chromatic dragon of evil.
Mm.
Some dragons saw what happened, saw Io get killed by his enemy, one of the primordials.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like there's the gods on one side, which I was part of, and then the primordials, sort of like natural elements manifest.
Sure.
And some dragons saw the fact that their god was killed by the primordials and said, our side was weak. Let's go to the other side, and join them.
Ooh.
And so some dragons went over and made bargains with powerful primordials. Primordials are like, we get dragons? Hell yeah. And so these primordials performed powerful rituals to change these certain dragons forevermore, giving them not just like elemental power, but effectively turning them into almost like motes of elemental power itself.
They became mini primordials.
In a way. And these dragons are incredibly powerful. At least by lore standards. Mechanically, when they came out in 4th edition, they were elites, which is a kind of generalized level of strength. Basically, 4th edition divided enemy strength into 4 categories. Standard, minion, which is very weak, and you would need 4 creatures to equal 1 normal standard creature.
Love minions.
Yeah, minions are fun. You can have lots of them for players to kill, and it's just like nice just hacking through them all.
Sure.
On the other side, you have elites. An elite is roughly worth 2 standard creatures, and this is where calamity dragons were powered. But most other dragons were actually categorized as solo, a solo being worth 4 to 5 standard creatures.
They're boss fights.
Yes, so in a weird way, calamity dragons were actually scaled weaker than regular dragons in 4th edition for some reason.
Sounds like they were also more common because of it.
They're not common.
No?
They're definitely not common.
Compared to like
but,
dragons, though.
Maybe compared to dragons, it's hard to say. But the interesting thing is that calamity dragons are well known for actually teaming up with people.
Oh.
Which is why I suppose they had to be elite rather than solo.
Okay.
Because calamity dragons will actually team up with creatures. So, for example, a blizzard dragon, which manifests blizzards by simply existing.
Yeah.
And some people might say, don't white dragons do the same thing? White dragons do that over a period of time. If a white dragon spends time in a mountainous region, eventually blizzards and snow will start to form there. A blizzard dragon turns up, and it is already a blizzard.
Okay, because they're more in tune with their elemental primordial side.
They generate that energy inside themselves.
Okay,
So a blizzard dragon actively creates a blizzard by existing.
just by being there. Okay.
Yeah. And as such, most living creatures won't get along well with a blizzard dragon, but a blizzard dragon will get along really well with like undead.
Or
Will
like,
work together with the undead because the undead can survive its snows.
sure.
And so they might team up with like a lich or something.
Okay, I see that now.
Because the lich can make use of all the frozen bodies perfectly preserved, and then on the other hand, the blizzard dragon gets powerful minions that it can use to help defend itself and its horde and do stuff that it needs to. But yeah, so they were powered less than like the standard dragon, which I found quite weird because in lore they teamed up with the primordials to get stronger.
It is definitely an odd thing to hear about, like the way you
Yeah.
describe them.
So when I've been using them in 5th edition and I've been like rebuilding them from scratch, I treat them as like a more powerful dragon because I feel like that makes more sense lore wise.
Sure.
But there's like 7 types of catastrophic or calamity dragon, and
Calamity
each one,
dragons.
yeah,
Yes.
each one is its own personal disaster. So there is blizzard dragons that I've made mention,
Mm.
tsunami
Ooh.
dragons, um, I believe it is hurricane or storm
Mm.
dragon. There is volcanic dragon
Okay.
and earthquake dragon, and then joined by and like each one of those fits in with like the elemental planes of chaos.
Sure, sure, sure.
So fire, wind, earth, water, and cold. Cold being kind of like a 5th one that's not ventured into too often
No
with the
heart?
blizzard dragon. But the other two are kind of like mixed
Yeah.
with the wildfire dragon
Uh-huh.
and the avalanche dragon.
Oh, I like that name.
Yeah, the avalanche dragons I found out about recently, and they will basically stay on mountaintops, and they're not very like they don't go out hunting too much. But if you ever like piss them off,
They're
they
bringing the
will
mountain down on
descend
you.
on you, and they will bring the mountain down on you.
Oh, I like that. Uh,
And it's like the idea, right, that each one represents like a natural disaster waiting to happen,
Hence
or like
calamity.
yeah, like a volcanic dragon is going to cause like mountains to start erupting in its mere presence. Like a hurricane dragon is um like it is both summoning a tornado and simultaneously the tornado itself. A
That's re-
tsunami dragon brings tidal waves with it, and in a way it is the tidal wave itself. So their bodies are closer to like elementals than like most living creatures are. And as such, uh, calamity dragons do not procreate normally. Instead,
How?
when they get strong enough, they just take a bit of their power, and boom, new dragon starts to form from effectively a new egg.
Sounds like mitosis.
Yeah, in a way, and in a way, it's hard to actually permanently kill a calamity dragon because they are almost like manifestations of disasters itself.
Yeah, okay, I can see how that'd be difficult for sure, 100%.
Yeah, but they're such a cool idea in terms of like an enemy type. Because like normally it's like okay, it's a dragon. It breathes fire or acid or lightning. It flies through the sky. But then you get told it's not a red dragon. It doesn't breathe fire. It is a volcano dragon. It creates volcanoes where it resides. It breathes lava, and it is a volcanic dragon, so it naturally produces volcanic gas by existing.
So I suppose, and I'm going to bring us back a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh dragon heart. Like originally we were talking about like having the dragon, like
Yeah.
like allied with something else or something, but like at the lower levels that the players are going to be, that might be tougher. So what if we have them fight a calamity dragon eventually instead?
I would love that. It
All
would
right.
have to be young, but
Yes.
even young would be crazy cool. Um, and when we get to that point, I can discuss the Calamity Dragon's like unique gimmick. That
Hmm.
is so cool.
Like if they're literally like a weather phenomenon or a natural disaster may manifest, I can imagine them like being a threat to the actual city itself. Because up until now, we've been talking about players leaving the city to basically go on a treasure hunt. There's like
Mm-hmm.
it's relatively low stakes at that point. Like there's
Yeah.
definitely stuff going on in the background with the bandit gangs uniting and the devils and whatnot, like stuff like that. But like as far as we know, nothing has been going wrong with the city proper yet.
Yeah.
All right, so um,
Okay. We should get back to our adventure.
so Phoenix feather. So I'm going back to the not the
Brainstorming.
brains. So yeah, we'll
Oh,
go to brainstorm. Yes, no, you're right. Brainstorming a bit.
yep.
Um, do we want to keep it as a phoenix feather, or do we want to change that up a bit, like a different ingredient?
Like I'm not opposed to Phoenix Feather because we 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 went Phoenix Feather because it's an elixir of immortality,
Immortal.
and
Okay,
the
sure.
Phoenix Feather is like one of the like quintessential like life based items, right?
Okay, sure. So based on challenge ratings, we probably can't have the players literally fight a phoenix.
No.
Well,
So I was thinking what would have to happen is some sort of like someone has to have a Phoenix Feather and the party has to obtain it from them.
hmm. The question is, how do they find out about the phoenix feather? And I've got a few ideas about that. Um,
Well, I think how they would find out about it would naturally be, I mean, Al.
I say yes and no. So Al could be involved in it, but I want I want to put in the whole "you are the chosen one" diva thing again. Prophetic
Okay.
dreams. So like, because they at this point it's been
Oh,
quite a few sessions,
yeah.
and they haven't heard sight or tale of the diva since. So I'm thinking like they feel the dream. They go to sleep after this big fight with the face slicer. They go home to Al. All of them get the dream, including Al, albeit like sort of modified. And Al will get the like what do you call it? Inspiration to use a phoenix feather. But then he's like, I'm not sure where to get one. I'm gonna go out and talk to my contacts. But then the players will be like, hang on, I know where to get a phoenix feather.
Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this.
So I suppose the question is at that point, it is very cliche to everybody watching. We understand this is very cliche what we're doing, but this is literally the first campaign, so we're kind of like giving ourselves like a sort of excuse to like
And we'll try to spice things up as well.
we'll try to spice things up. So I'm in the Slate Town quests now.
Yep.
So what level are the players at this stage?
They will have leveled up after resting from Face Slicer's, the Battle of Face Slicer, so they should now be a nice, healthy level 3.
Okay, so quest 4 players after returning from the goblin camp and getting their reward from Father. What was his name again? Father.
Giovanni.
Giovanni. Giovanni. They will then return to Owl's shop and go to sleep. Okay, so I'm just gonna bold this. Okay, They dream of the diva, the one that implored them to to this come to Slate Town, the first place, and reveal to them the next ingredient and where to get it. So where would they actually find it?
So that is the big question, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be the fun decision. Because what we can do is work out what type of adventure we want to do now.
So
If
it
we
plays on level 3, right? Did you say?
Yeah. Level
Players
3.
should be level 3 now.
So we can say it's in the hand of like a noble in like a town nearby,
Uh-huh.
and thus we would have to perform like maybe some sort of heist or like negotiate for it somehow. Or we can go down the angle of the phoenix feathers in the hands of something like a hag.
What's the biggest CR creature a level 3 party should be able to fight, would you say?
Well, realistically, generally you'd want to be like, okay, it's level 3. But I think a party could get away with fighting a level 5 creature, provided they're prepared for it.
So a CR5 creature, you'd say?
Yeah. Which is why we used the troll stat block for the pinch.
I'm wondering if we want to give them like another specific unique item to fight the next thing. Unless you want it like as much as I like the idea of a heist, and you know how much I love idea of heist, I am literally basing a campaign around the idea of a heist.
Yes.
At this stage of the game in Slate Town, there's been no indication that we are favoring stealthy characters specifically. So I'd rather not lock the players down into a specific play style here.
Okay.
Like for all we know, like by the time they hit Quest 4, it could be a barbarian, a fighter, a paladin, and a cleric, perhaps, as the party. We just don't know. So if it is a heist, it's a more guns cocked, kicking in the door kind of heist.
Okay. In that case,
do we want to? Yeah, go on.
I think the phoenix feather belonging to some sort of like maybe like a spellcaster out in the middle of nowhere, whether it's a hag or maybe some sort of like wizard that reside or like wizard or druid that resides like deep in the middle of nowhere. Maybe it's in like a giant's camp or something, or maybe it belongs. Sahagin Baron is CR5.
What Baron? Sorry.
A Sahagin. A Sahagin. I don't know how you pronounce it. The fish personish kind of creatures.
Oh, no, I know what you're talking about. Let's go to the wharf quickly, because I'd like to have a visualization of what a Zahergan looks like. I think I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah. I think I've actually got the. Well, I should be able to get a token on it.
Because I would not be able to spell that for the life of me. Phoenix in the hands of a. Yeah, I do like the idea of them finding a spellcaster because we haven't run into one yet. Yep. Okay. Yep. That's basically what I remember. A Suhagen.
Yeah, because looking at it, like they're a water people, and while I don't think there's a traditional Suhagen spellcaster in. Oh, there is a priestess. The priestess is like CR2, but yeah, so
we can buffer up a bit.
Yeah, and I think if my memory serves, there's actually some extra stat blocks for like Hergoans that can be found in like Ghost of Saltmarsh that we could potentially use for some additional like Sahagins we want. But I just find the idea it's like, okay, we need a feather of a phoenix. Where do we need to go? Underwater.
Oh, I like that.
It's like, why? Like what? Like that is like the last place I would think of searching for a phoenix feather, right?
Mm-mm. So maybe it could be like a shipwreck off the coast.
Well, I like the idea of there being like an island, like a small island with a reef,
Island.
and it's like you get to the island and then you have to find some way to like travel underwater, and like the Sargons basically are like patrolling land and sea. You have to find some way to get underwater into their territory
Mm-mm-mm.
in order to obtain this phoenix feather.
Mm.
And it's like, because we could do some cool underwater stuff. And I think technically, didn't we hand out like a or discuss like potions of water breathing as one of the things we could get from Al?
I believe that might have been one of them. Let me control F, water. Yeah, 1d4. Okay, so it's from the swimming competition. There's
Mm-hmm.
gambling and prize being the first cut of the sea serpent
Yeah.
and like the prime cut basically. And you can give that to Al to create 1d4 potions of water breathing. Um, so yes, that does show that Al can make potions of water breathing. In fact, I'm going to make a Google Doc quickly
Yep.
and call it Al's potions for sale. And so at player level slash availability, are you able to see that document I just made?
Just refresh. Al's potions for sale.
So I'm just going to input a table. Let me just think. So you need a thing for player level. You need something for the price and the actual potion. So, okay, yep. Player level. So as the player goes up in level, they can get access to more and more potions and such like that.
Mm-hmm.
Price and potion itself. So, uh, player level 1, they can get access to health potions. They're just called health potions in this edition, aren't they?
I believe the standard potion is just called a potion of healing.
Okay, just potion of healing. Potion of healing. You know what? I'm going to put one called minor healing potion. And it'll only do 1 HP. Just to help stabilize. It's just...
Oh yeah, that'd be one of those like one gold piece kind of like potions.
yeah, exactly,
That's
exactly.
meant more for like the townsfolk than anything.
It's literally there to stabilize people. Potion of healing, I believe that's 50 GP.
Yeah, the standard price for a potion of healing, um, I believe, is 50 hit points
Mm-mm.
by the DMG.
Okay. And maybe potion of jumping. Did we actually? What other kind of potions did we say were available? Because at level 2, we're definitely gonna have potions of water breathing, which I think the players will be interested in because they are literally on a port town.
Mm-hmm.
So level 2, potion of water breathing. I think there was supposed to be potions of giant strength somewhere, but I can't seem to
Oh,
find them.
we discussed the idea that those require materials.
Those require
Well,
material. Okay.
yeah, so you would need, say, a part of a giant. Now, as it just so happens, the pinch is a troll from our little Christmas escapade, and trolls are technically giants.
In that case, potions for purchase, and then potions from crafting. And so I can insert, so not really price at this point, it'd be materials.
Mm-hmm.
Materials.
There'd
And
probably be like an additional cost as well, but like it'd be low comparatively.
slash cost. You know what? They don't even need to be a specific level.
Yeah.
Because by the time they're able to kill the troll or whatever, they'll
Mm-hmm.
probably
The
already
pinch. Yeah.
be that level that they need to be to get it anyway. So material slash cost. Giant
Giant big toe.
giant toe.
Make it a
Big.
big toe because otherwise they can harvest 10.
Okay.
If it's a big toe, you can get 2 from a giant.
Giant monsters. Big toe. So anything large or larger.
I would specifically make it giant.
Okay, so specifically
Yeah.
giants. So
Yes.
literally giants big toe.
Giants. Yeah.
So wait, ogres count as giants?
Ogres, I believe, do technically count as giants, but the pinch counts as a giant, as a troll.
Okay, so trolls are classified as giants. Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
realize
yeah,
that was a
trolls. Yeah, trolls are technically a type of giant.
okay. Material slash cost. Um, you know what? Hang on. Let me. Slate Town quest. I'm going back to that water breathing potion for a quick thingy.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of 1d4 potions of water breathing, I'm gonna say
I'd just say 4, right?
yeah, yeah, 4 potions of water breathing. And I'm gonna put in a note here. Sea serpent. Sea serpent meat. Ugh. Sea serpents meat, and it'll be potion of water breathing, and then I'll put down sea serpents prime cut. 4 potions of water breathing because it's so what do you call it? So
It's such
condensed.
yeah.
It's
It's
the good stuff.
yeah.
Uh,
What I would do is be like sea serpent's meat and like maybe like 20 GP,
okay, yeah,
but the
yeah.
sea serpent prime cut is just 4,
Mm, mm, mm.
and like the giant's toe. Um,
Oh, I know we're going back a bit, but hang on. Dang it. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna start renaming some of these adventures. So like Silvertoe's farm quest will be 1 point, and then Silvertoe's farm quest, for example, just so I don't like lose track of where they are. And I believe Goblin Hideout was the third quest.
Goblin hideout was yep.
Third quest, which would make the Flooded Lighthouse number 2. Rename, and that'll just make keeping track of this stuff a bit easier. But yes, in Silvertoe's farm, I believe there was a chance of finding a 4-leaf clover or a single 5-leaf clover.
Well, the 5-leaf clover is technically what we brought to Al.
5-leaf clover. I swear there was a you could look and like actually see. Unless I spelt it as 4. Oh yeah, there is a section where you can find a 4-leaf clover. It's over here. I'm
Oh,
just
yep.
highlighting now in yellow.
Yeah, it gives an inspiration point though.
I kind of want to use the 4-leaf clover for something else if they decide to give it to 4-leaf clover. And let's just
Um,
say 20 GP.
yeah, what would be a good? Is there like a potion of luck?
Um, let me see the Dungeon Master's Guide. Potion of Luck. I don't know, but if it is,
No. Maybe like a potion of heroism, which gives you bless, which
oh,
is like a D4 to attack rolls and saves, which I
mm-hmm.
think feels kind of on par with what you'd want, right?
Like it's pretty much lucky. Yeah, you become a bit lucky. Yeah, sure. Wait, hang on. Does heroism have any spell components to it?
Uh, 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 like the spell heroism?
Yeah, I for some reason I always thought there was
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking
vocal
about the
and
potion of
somatic.
heroism. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yep. Potion of heroism. Uh, potion of heroism. Okay, let's see. What other things can they find on Silvertoe's farm? Like, I don't think they'd eat the sheep, for example. Well,
No.
they could eat the sheep, but not for like potion reasons. Um,
Yeah.
okay, what can they find in the flooded lighthouse? I mean, there's crab shell. Ooh, crab shells. Yeah,
Um.
giant crab shells. Potion. Hang on. Which page are the potions on in the Dungeon Master's Guide? If that's a thing.
Uh. The DMG, I think it's like 188
188.
around there.
Okay. Because I don't remember if they shuffle all the magical items together, including them. Alright, let's see. 188. Yeah, okay, they have a few potions here back and forth. Yeah, potion of animal friendship, potion of climbing. Because I want to give them like, some sort of shell thingy.
Yeah, I'm thinking like I was thinking something that's like protective based.
I'm looking for it now. Potion of poisoning, potion of resistance, vitality, water breathing. We kind of already have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing of specific potion type stuff, so we could probably just make it a potion of a spell, like we've been doing. The druid stuff might have something. I'm gonna look up druid spells quickly. Bard spells, cleric spells, druid spells. Here we go. Shillelagh, Thorn Whip, Animal Friendship, Cure Wounds, Entangle, Long Stride. I don't mind if it's like something. Bark Skin, okay. Except we call it something else, obviously. But it would
Yeah.
work essentially like Bark Skin. Alright, let's see. How does Bark Skin work exactly? It's a concentration spell. Until the spell ends, target skin has a rough bark-like appearance, and the target's AC can't be less than 16, regardless of what kind of armor it's wearing. Okay, so it's basically bark skin, but then we reflavor it for crab shell.
Yeah, I think that could be cool.
Crab's shell, bark skin. So it lasts for an hour, and the added advantage to using this over, bloody bark skin is the fact that you can't lose your concentration while you're
Yep.
drinking this. Okay, so, and then the goblin camp, what did we find in the goblin, well, hideout, I should say.
Giant seagull egg, I think, was one of the things.
Oh yeah, we could give that, you could either, like, save it for that, or, oh yep, giant seagull egg. So they could make it a potion if they really wanted to. Um, what about potion of flying?
I mean, it's a giant bird. It would make sense.
Potion of flying. Okay, yep. Done. Oh, poor bird. Like, it doesn't need to die, but that's like one of the potential benefits, I suppose. What other things? I don't think there is anything else. It's just a bunch of wood, bunch of hay. Um, did we say there was any kind of loot in the, what section was it? Section 7. Various wooden trinkets. Yep. Small mirror. Food that's been forced inside. Not to be poisoned. Do we want to put something else in there that could be valuable, actually? That the goblins didn't identify as valuable, but like the players could with a proper DC check.
As in, like, if you properly investigate the mush, you can find something of value.
Yeah, like, I don't know, a very rare mushroom, for example.
You know what? I don't mind that.
Okay. A perception check. Perception DC. Let's say 15. A odd looking purple. Wait. Odd. And okay, here we go. An oddly intact mushroom that sports a dark purple hue can be found with a survival. This is just carte blanche. We can basically give them any kind of potion we want. What kind of spell effect do you really like at the lower levels?
Like, to be fair, if it's a mushroom, it giving like poison resistance or something could be good.
Okay. All right. Let's
Because
say
like halving
DC.
poison damage, poison hits really hard.
Okay, with survival DC of 12, the players can identify this as a, what do we want to call it? Do we want to give it a punny name?
Why don't we call it like the goblin cap mushroom?
I feel like a goblin cap would be common though.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like that'd be better.
Something gives poison resistance, so how about like the ill shield? No, the tummy settler shroom.
Death cap.
Death cap sounds like it'd be a poison though. Death shield.
Um,
Death shield mushroom, maybe.
yeah, death shield sounds cool.
Which can either be eaten raw as an as an antitoxin, or refined to a more potent potion that shields player from poison. Okay, so antitoxin, if I remember correctly, gives you advantage on rolls against poison, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gives you advantage on the saving throws against poison for an hour.
And what does the potion of resistance do? Does it just outright make it so you take half damage?
Yeah.
Which is more powerful, would you say?
Resistance to poison damage for an hour.
Okay, is much better. Okay, it does feel weird to me that like damage resistance against poison doesn't actually make it so that you can drink more beer.
Yeah, different things. The
Definitions of
antitox
poison.
the antitoxin's good for drinking more beer. The poison resistance is good for taking snake venom to the neck.
Death shield mushroom. Okay, so that will be do we want to make it cost anything or just potion of poison resistance?
I think like a little cost probably goes a long way. Some of these, like maybe the death shield might cost like 5 GP.
Okay, okay.
Seagull egg might cost like, it's a potion of flying, so I'd still make it like maybe like 35 GP. Because flying's crazy good.
I just added a little note for the potion of flying. Left over. Okay. Always tastes fresh. Has no taste, but smells horrific.
Yeah.
I just like adding little flavor, literally.
Yeah. And I'll just note hill giant strength because technically there's categories of giant strength.
Oh, hang on. The prime cut always tastes fresh, whereas the normal one,
Slight fishy aftertaste.
slight fishy aftertaste. The clover, less taste and more smell of fresh cut grass. And then Death Shield Mushroom, kind of like dirt, but almost chewy.
Ugh.
Okay, so for the crab one, tastes like drinking sand, works like bark skin.
Cool.
Tastes like egg white. Now we can leave the rest of it. So it tastes like egg white. There we go. I really like doing flavor for this sort of thing. And I think it means more if it's like because the players are crafting it and such like that.
Mm-hmm.
What other potion do we want to give the players at level 1? Or do we just want to say, like, for the sake of it, anything from like the player's handbook?
I would potentially, because he's selling them, note the potion of growth.
Potion of. Okay, wait, hang on. Okay, so instead of potion of healing, I will say, as the player's handbook, everything alchemical from the player's handbook. Potion of growth. What's the potion of growth?
It's the potion we are shipping off to Silto's farm to begin with.
Oh,
but
yeah.
That's the one. Yeah. You drink it to get the enlarge spell.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So how much would that cost? Because I don't think that's a thing in the. Oh, it is. It is. When you drink this potion, you gain the enlarge effects of enlarge reduced for 1d4 hours. No concentration. Okay. Is there a page for like how much these things cost? Because I don't seem to see it anywhere in this.
Yeah. A lot of the prices are a bit up in the air. I often use a website that gives like sane prices for magical items.
Mm-hmm. What does it say about the potion of growth?
Yeah, the potion of growth price per sane prices is 270 gold pieces.
Very dear for level 1 characters, but it gives them something to like look forwards to.
Yeah.
I'm okay to give something out of players' reach to begin with. And maybe they can.
Yeah. Like I'd maybe cut that down to 250. Like, because 270 is a bit of a weird pricing. 250 sounds.
And we can say Al is a really good alchemist, so he can cut down the price a tiny bit, or maybe the ingredients are really common in this area for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. So I believe we technically gave out like simpler versions of the potion of growth.
Yeah.
For early on, which like diluted ones for the sheep. But like a proper proper potion of growth being 250. Yeah.
How much is a potion of water breathing while I've got you there?
Potion of water breathing. Um, oh, it's hard to navigate, but
Is
potion
Enlarge considered a level 2 spell?
of
Because I just realized we could cheat a bit
enlarge.
here.
Yeah, I think enlarge is level 2 transmutation spell. Water breathing. A potion of water breathing normally goes for 180 GP, according to the sane price values.
How much does it say again? Did you say?
180 GP.
Okay, and let me just double check what the water breathing spell. It's considered level 3. I
Yeah,
was
but
going to.
water breathing is a bit more situational
Mm-mm.
compared to growth, which is just
So 180, did you say?
yeah.
I was going to.
Also, water-based potions for water breathing.
Mhm.
Probably materials to obtain it is really easy here.
You know what? I'm gonna say. Okay, unless outlined here, you can take any spell from the player's handbook and adopt it into a potion with the casting level as the casting level halved, rounded up to determine availability. Cost could equal the caster. Wait, the spell level times 100 GP. So, if it was a level 3 spell, for all intents and purposes, halved, rounded up, so a level 2 player could get it,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be worth 300 GP, for example.
Okay. Love
hmm.
my 900 gold wish,
Mhm.
but we'll joke about that. But yeah, definitely not.
I also mention if the spell requires material components, add that onto the cost as well. The only spells that target self can be made to spells unless otherwise specified. So I believe the wish spell isn't only self.
I do not know off by heart. So let's have a
Which,
look. Wish. Action. Range self.
never mind. Holy crap. Create
Yes,
one.
I'm going to assume he doesn't just have wish potions.
Okay. Alright, in that
I,
case.
I, what we could do is say up to 5th level.
Okay, yep.
Restrict him at like a certain sane level, up to 5th level.
Any spell up to level 5 from the player's handbook and adopted into a potion with the casting level halved and rounded up to determine availability. Spell last more than 1 hour, cannot be used as potions. You know what? I'll add something, a little magical thing. Specific potions / spells are up to DM discretion.
The DM discretion.
There we go.
And
So,
speaking of discretion,
uh-huh.
we've been at this for a bit.
Oh, we have, haven't we?
Time flies, but we now have like a bunch of potions for Al and all that, that helps like flesh things out as we go forward because we can now reference like, hey, this is what the players could potentially have or gain access to.
Let's give them ingredients and all that stuff. Oh, I love that. Okay. All right, everybody, that has been Recipe for Adventure. Thank you for watching as always. Comment, like, and subscribe, all that stuff, and bye-bye.
Ciao.